What's up, everybody? So, I'm gonna do a little chit chat here. I've been meaning to add to my videos about guitar players that I like and why I like them. Now, I've done Satriani, I've done James Hetfield and Kirk Hammett. Now, I want to do John Petrucci of Dream Theater. I cannot play like John. I can play maybe a few riffs of John's, a little bit, a couple of like solo lines, but I've never learned like a complete John Petrucci solo or complete Dream Theater song ever. I've had the Black Clouds and Silver Linings album tab book since like 2009, 2010 when it came out. And it's like, man, I thought, I got the book and I was like, okay, I'm gonna learn it. Play some Petrucci, man, shred it up like he can. Laid it up on the counter at Guitar Center. And the guy looks at the book, looks at me, and he's like, Dream Theater, huh? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, you do realize how diligently you're going to have to work on this book, right? Talking like, one riff at a time, one section at a time, slowly, slowly, slowly get it under your hands. And I thought, yeah, I've got it. I can do it. And I built myself up in my mind. You know, I was like, yeah, I can do it. Got home, sat down to work on the first song in the book, and it's 16 minutes long. And I learned like the opening riff, and I was like, yeah, not too bad. The song kept going on, and I just immediately got stopped. His speed, man, his speed and his accuracy with what he plays is one reason that I like him. Now, yes, a lot of people they do hate on John. It's just a bunch of notes. It's a flurry of notes, and you can't tell what the hell's going on. Their songs are too long. How do they write all those riffs? I see a lot of guys that can play that stuff, and they've been playing for years. And my thought about that is, if you're gonna hate on someone of that level of playing, you should have the chops to back that hate up. And not a lot of people have those chops. And I watched a commentary on my G3 Live in Tokyo DVD of Satriani talking about, Petrucci being part of the G3 for the first time. And he's like, I could play with him and Steve Vai for hours and still be scratching my head wondering how they do half the things that they do. And that's coming from Satch. And Satch is pretty damn formidable as a guitarist, too. And Steve Vai said, he remembered when Dream Theater first hit scene back in the 90s. And John's tone has always been very solid, and his playing is pretty damn bulletproof. Like, no one can touch it. But anyway, the reasons that I like him, he has very intricate solos, very chops demanding stuff to play. But nobody really looks and talks about, or looks at and talks about his rhythm playing. His rhythm playing is just as complex as his solos. And it's tight. His rhythm playing is so tight. It's like, damn, man. He's up there with Hetfield. And he has muscle behind what he plays. And that's one reason that I really enjoy his playing is that metal edge that he has. And his newest solo album, what was it called? Terminal Velocity, is a killer record. I listen to it all the time when I'm in here setting up my guitars or doing whatever I'm doing, hanging up clothes. And every song on that album is amazing. And so, like, yeah, he plays his tight, chunky rhythms, insanely fast solos. But there's another aspect of his playing that really hooked me on him, is his the way that he can write a melody in a solo and pick a specific line that he's gonna play. And when he's playing that line, you feel it. You feel it in your heart. You feel it in your soul. Like, he's super fast. His rhythm playing super tight. His lead playing is super clean. But also he can turn off the shred and take you on a journey and make you feel it in here, like you're part of the music. You're part of what you're watching. It's like an experience with him. It's not just watching someone play the guitar. You experience someone playing the guitar and they exude the love and passion for it. That's what John does, and that's what hooked me to him. And I always wanted to learn Petrucci's solos and stuff, but at this point, I mean, I really don't care that I can't play like that. It's still so amazing and inspiring to watch. Maybe someday I'll be able to do it, but it's just, if I'm feeling down on my playing, you know, and like I can't think of anything cool. I can't play a cool riff. I'll pop in a Dream Theater album or DVD or Blu-ray and just watch John play. And it's like, I get that feeling of my 14-year-old self. I want to strive to be that good. And that will kind of kick me back into trying to learn that stuff. And I did learn through her eyes on Scenes from a Memory, Metropolis Part 2, Scenes from a Memory. It's not perfect in any sense of the word, but it's getting there. And I'm really proud of that. I'm really proud of it. I want to do that song. I want to learn The Spirit Carries On the Backs of Angels. Pull Me Under, everyone plays that one that can play Petrucci that I've seen. Like, I've asked literally 13 different guitar players, can you play any Petrucci? Can you play any Dream Theater? That's the one song they all seem to be able to play. Not to say that it's a bad song or anything like that. It's kind of like Dream Theater's Inner Sandman. Now, I'm not hating on nobody that plays that song because I can't do it. I can play the intro, so I'm there, right? I can do it all. No, that song is so complex, so intricate as it goes on that it's like, damn, man, how does he even play this stuff? Like, I tell you right now, man, if somehow I went to meet Dream Theater and John lets me play His Majesty and I'm playing something that he likes and he's like, okay, awesome, I quit the band. You're the new guitar player. I'm so in over my head. I would go on stage and probably just completely shit myself because I can't play that stuff. Or tell the band, like, okay, guys, we're gonna have to write, like, a whole new album. Completely forget everything from the last, 25 years. Sorry, fans, you guys aren't gonna be able to hear Pull Me Under or any other song by them because I can't play it. It would never work. I'd be begging him, please come back, take your spot. But yeah, man, I mean, it's just like, I like guitar players like that. That can convey emotion in their playing, can convey feeling. And yes, he can shred his ass off. He really can. But he knows how to turn that off. And he does that to suit the song. He's not playing fast just to play fast like most shredders would. He does it when it's called for. And another cool aspect of his playing that I don't know if a lot of people really look into, but I have, is his and Jordan's unison parts in their songs, where he's playing what Jordan Rudess is playing on the keyboards. That stuff is freaking killer. And John, I read in a Guitar World magazine one time, he was talking about that. And he said, him being a keyboardist, everything on the keyboard is linear. It's logically laid out, it's all linear. On the guitar, there's many different possibilities and choices of where to play the notes. So when you copy something that a keyboard player is doing, it kind of forces you to come up with very odd fingerings. And you'd have to sit down and work out those fingerings to be able to mimic what Jordan's doing on the keyboards. That whole band, everybody in that band has talent beyond belief. Like Jordan Rudess is an amazing keyboard player. He really grabbed a hold of me. I normally don't like keyboards in my music, other than black metal. I like it in black metal, but in like a metal setting like Dream Theater, if I heard another band that wasn't them, that kind of didn't have keyboards in it, I'd be like, I think it would need it, because he really complements that band so well, and it works for them. Their bass player, John Myung, is an amazing bassist. But the guy, in interviews, I heard him say on my DVD I have, he doesn't like to do interviews. He doesn't talk a whole lot. He said, I like to get the interviews done, say what I have to say, get the interviews done before the show so I can concentrate on the show. And then Petrucci needs no introduction. The dude is godlike on his instrument. Now the drummers. Mike Portnoy was the first Dream Theater drummer, and I love his drumming. And when he left, right before the making of, what is that album called? A Dramatic Turn of Events. When I found out that he left after 25 years with the band, I was like, oh man, they're going to have to recruit somebody that can really bash the hell out of some drums. And they got Mike Mangini to join Dream Theater. And he was in Steve Vai's band back in the early 2000s. And I got their Live at Luna Park Blu-ray. And that was the Dramatic Turn of Events World Tour. I watched that Blu-ray, and he played a lot of the newer songs that he had done with the band, but he also played a lot of the older songs that Mike Portnoy had previously done. And his game is right there. I mean, he is on top of his shit. Like, I could not be a drummer and play at the level that Portnoy or Mangini could play. Those guys are just world class. That whole band is world class. And James LaBrie, the singer. While, some people may not like his voice and may not like his technique. Now, I don't know how to judge vocals. I'm not a vocalist. But I think it suits Dream Theater. I think if he were to leave the band, I don't think they could get someone else that could quite pull it off the way James does. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about JP and the rest of Dream Theater, man, because it's just so inspiring to watch people of that talent do what they do. And to see John's guitars, man. I mean, just looking at his guitars when he's playing them, it's like, man, if I had that guitar, I'd be the best guitarist in the world. So I do have the Sterling, I got the Sterling Majesty. And when I was learning that solo for Through Her Eyes, I was learning that yesterday. It really sounded like John Petrucci. I mean, the pickups are voiced very well. I began to wonder if Petrucci has some sort of involvement in this is the pickups we're going to use. If these are the pickups we're going to use by Music Man, I want to voice them to make them sound as close to my Rainmaker and Dreamcatcher pickups by DiMarzio that I can. I just wonder about that. Which I found out that the Sterling is cheaper quality. Of course it is, right? It's not a legitimate Ernie Ball Music Man. The differences that they have is that the Sterling does not have the piezo that the or piezo, whatever it is they call it. It doesn't have that. His Music Man does have a coil split on the tone pot and the 12 dB volume boost, which you do get on the Sterling. And this Sterling here does not have stainless steel frets. And the floating trim on the Sterling and the Music Man are a little bit different. It's a different design. But the 2021 and 2020 Sterlings do have DiMarzio pickups, which is the Liquefier and Crunch Lab John Petrucci signature set. And they do have stainless steel frets, which is really cool. And they have some really cool finishes that are unique to the Sterling line that John personally, came up with, and this is what I want. So he's very involved with his guitars and how he wants them and the ergonomics. The way he designed that thing is so that any guitar player that picks it up will be perfectly comfortable on that guitar. And I'm starting to see a little bit, maybe that's why he can do what he does. Just, he designed that guitar the way he wanted it so that he can play to his absolute best. And he does. Every time that I see a new Blu-ray they put out, I know it's filmed, for a DVD, so everything has to be perfect, But he does. He really does play at the top of his game. And they're coming to Atlanta here in Georgia. They're coming here in December. I'm really hoping I can try to go and sit and watch Petrucci live. Which I know it's going to be an absolutely mind-blowing experience if I was able to go. So I kind of got off on a tangent there, talking about the guitar and stuff. But Petrucci's playing is just, like Steve Vai said, it's bulletproof. And I don't understand why people have to hate on him. I mean, come on, man. Do you know how much time he had to put in to the instrument to even get halfway to where he is on the guitar? Now, if we all did that, we'd all be able to play that way too. So, here's a quote for you that Rusty Cooley said about the guitar. If you get the right guitar in your hands that feels perfectly comfortable for you, and you feel like you can play anything on, the only limitation that guitar will give you are the ones you set on yourself. And maybe that's a lot of our problem, as guitar players, is that we set limitations on ourselves. I know I do. And another piece of advice for every guitarist out here, from beginner all the way up to advanced, do not ever set a goal as far as how good you want to get. Because once you set that goal and you reach it, what else are you gonna do? I'm as good as I want to be. Well, I mean, what are you gonna do now? Are you gonna sell all your instruments? Or are you just gonna, play everything that you've learned over and over and over and over and over again and never venture into new styles? So don't ever do that. If you set any kind of goal on the guitar, make it practice goals. Like, okay, this week, I'm going to work on diminished seventh arpeggios, or I'm going to work on add nine chords, or suspended four, or suspended second. I'm going to learn music theory. That kind of goal is the kind of goal that you should set for yourself, and amazing things will happen. But if you set a goal as, I want to be this good, and once I reach it, I'm done, there's no more reason to play. So, I guess that's my piece of advice. I was told that by an old friend. He told me that. And I've also had other guitar players kind of school me a little bit. Because back in the day, back in like, I don't know, 2008, 2006, I was about 17. Well, 2008, I was 21. So about 2005 to 4, when I was like 16, 17 years old, I really thought, I started to get a little bit of a cocky attitude about myself as far as guitar goes. And I met one guy one time, and I walked into the guitar shop, and he had an Ibanez Prestige RG 1570. And I was just jokingly, hey man, can you play some Steve Vai? Because I can play Steve Vai. And he sat down and he played The Audience is Listening, note for note, absolutely perfect. And I was like, whoa, yeah, I'm not going to do that with this guy. I'm not going to be all cocky. And then I played Satch Boogie for him. I was learning it, got it under my hands pretty good. And he watched me play and immediately called out all my mistakes. As far as like, you're not putting enough swing into the song, and you're so stiff. You're not loose when you're playing. And he was like, you need to, sit down and basically revamp your whole technique. And that was ego crushing, man. It's like I spent all this time trying to, get to where I am, and now it's all wrong. But, I took that advice, and it really has helped a lot. I did sit down and rethink how I played things. Loosen up a little bit in your arms and your shoulders. Loosen up in your hands. Do proper stretching, stuff like that. Okay, so that stuff. If you want something, for all you guys out here that may not know about it, I'm sure a lot of people have seen this, but if you want like great warm-up exercises and other exercises for speed building, stretching, things like that, get Petrucci's Rock Guitar Discipline. You can get it on DVD. You can even watch it on YouTube. It's on there. And he goes through his 30-minute warm-up that he does before every show, every performance, every clinic. And it really will loosen up your muscles in your hands here. It gets your forearm muscle loosened up, your wrist muscles loosened up, so that you can play as comfortably as possible with no tension in your hands and stuff like that. And I discovered that Petrucci is a avid weightlifter, and he likes to lift weights. And I seen in a Guitar World magazine interview with Ernie Ball, I believe it was, that he at one time during the making of what's that album called? Systematic Chaos. He actually was lifting weights and sprained his hand, his wrist or something. And he had a performance. It wasn't a show like a Dream Theater show. It was like a clinic or a lesson thing or something. And he was given advice by the doctor to not do that performance, because if he were to do the performance and push that injury, it could potentially completely ruin his guitar career. He'd never play again. And I could not imagine a guitar world without someone as talented as Petrucci. Like, that guy is damn bulletproof. He's an amazing guitar player. And I've done this with Satriani too, and Satch is amazing too. He's my favorite guitarist. But Petrucci is right behind him, even though I can't play anything much that Petrucci plays. He's still up there in my list because, you know, progressive metal has never been the same since Petrucci hit with his band, Dream Theater, which Majesty is what they used to be called, and that's where the guitar name comes from. So, yeah, that's why I like him so much. His intricate leads and lines, melody lines, his intricate and crazy complex fast solos, and the tightness of his rhythm playing, and how he can make you feel it in here. And I've heard of people that have seen him live and they would actually cry because what he's playing is so moving, and everybody in the room resonates just with one guy putting his fingers on some wire and hitting them with a pick. So what can you say about John Petrucci? The man needs no introduction. I hope you guys enjoy this, and I'll do this again. The next guy up will be Steve Vai. I'll do him next. And his might be a little longer than this one because I got a lot to say about Steve. So you guys take care out here, and I hope you guys enjoyed. I thank you for watching.